Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for IDW Sonic the Hedgehog issue 43. When we last left our heroes, the Deadly Six started their attack of Restoration HQ while it was largely undefended, as they had deceived the Restoration at large into thinking they were going to attack either Winterburg or I believe Sunset City next. Might have been another location. Either way, both Sonic and the Chaotix were kind of distracted with this trap that they had fallen into, allowing the Deadly Six to largely make it to Restoration HQ unhampered. There were a few little minor fights here and there, but they made it to the control room that was guarded by Tangle and Whisper very easily. Meanwhile, Starline has snuck into HQ to kidnap Belle. Both out of a sort of enamorment for Eggman's work, as he's realized that she is part of Mr. Tinker's designs, and also for probably whatever scheme he's hooking up for Imposter Syndrome, which was announced recently. And yeah, he gets away. Sonic arrives at the scene to stop the Deadly Six, but does not really notice Starline and Belle. So yeah, there's these tools that Tails has cooked up, the Zeti Zapper that will get rid of the Deadly Six if Sonic can attach them, which now he kind of has to do, and then he'll have to realize that Belle has been kidnapped and get her back. So yeah, that's where we left off last time. Let's jump right on in to issue 43. Our picture here is Sonic kind of sitting on top of Zavok's head, kind of like tapping on him, mockingly, you know, it's very Sonic. He thinks he's got this fight in the bag. Of our story so far, which is basically what I said. Tails is Zeti Zapper and the Zeti Launcher. The Deadly Six have arrived. Sonic is saving the day. And Starline is kind of evil monologuing about how intrigued he is by Belle and kidnapping her. And yeah, we have our roll call here of Sonic, Tails, Tangle, Whisper, Jewel, Belle, Team Chaotix, and the Deadly Six. Let's see if I can keep all of their names straight this time. I always kind of... I think I know all of them but Zaz and Zor. I'm going to do a quick check on that as fast as I can. Just looking at all their names in the description. Okay, gotcha. I should be good with the Deadly Six this time. Anyway, we open where we left off with Zavok starting the attack on Sonic. Restoration HQ in Emeraldville. Zavok calls, "Destroy him!" And we see Zomom and Zik and Xena and Zaz all kind of going for Sonic, who mocks them. You can try. And he sort of dashes through them, knocks over Zik and Zomom and Zaz, and then Sonic kind of jumps over to Zavok. Couldn't leave well enough alone, could you? And he spin dashes right onto Zavok's head, kind of slightly injuring him. And Sonic continues, "A whole world to explore and enjoy. And you just had to pick a fight." And we see him kind of dodging one of Xena's kicks and also dodging a stomp attack from Zomom. And we see Tangle, who is still like, she herself has sort of sealed the doors, but now she can't really unseal them to join the fight. And she calls, "Hang on, we'll back you up." And she's trying to like really no avail there. And then I think this is Sonic's line as he spin dashes right into Zomom's face. "Not yet. We need Tails' doodads." I guess he didn't bring them? Did he bring them? Right, because Tails didn't have them ready. He was going to come to HQ with the Zeti Zapper, but until then, Sonic can't actually finish the fight. So he's kind of not exactly in a bad situation here, but it's not the best for him. Anyway, Zik tries to whack him with his staff, but Sonic curls into a ball. "I'll keep them busy until..." And then we cut to Jewel, who is on voice chat. "Tails, Vector, you need to hurry. Nobody else is even remotely close to help." And we see Tails in the tornado, trying to make it there. "I'm en route. Not much longer. I'm flying in to get there faster." And Vector then chimes in, "The Chaotix are on our way." But we see they're in like a traffic jam. They physically cannot get there. "Maybe even faster if I got out and pushed." Are cars really a thing in Sonic's worlds? I mean, I know they were in the adventure games, but I don't think we've really seen them in the IDW. No, we saw that truck back in the Sunset City arc of the Metal Virus saga. But still, it's just sort of weird, the idea of a traffic jam. Like, it's not really anything I've really encountered in a Sonic story before. But yeah, they're sort of stuck in traffic. And Jewel turns back to Whisper and Tangle. "He's on his own for now." And Whisper just tells her, "No." And we see, somehow Tangle is like, or I think maybe Whisper blasted this initially. And I think, like, because we saw earlier Tangle trying to, like, pry the door open. and it looks a little wider than it did, the gap, but it's not really a gap we see. It's not like she's physically pulled the doors open. It's like there's a hole missing, which feels like maybe Tangle or Whisper just kind of shot there, and now she's going to use that as a like sniper hole to attack the Deadly Six. As Whisper kind of tells Tangle, brace please. And we see Tangle kind of wraps Whisper up in her tail. Like this? Yes, thank you. Hold still. Did the Wispon have a huge like blowback? I don't really remember that being a thing. It very well might be. I don't know. Anyway, she points her Wispon in the hole and shoots a Cyan Wisp right at Zomom. Yo! And Sonic kind of grins at Zomom's sudden pain. And also the distraction allows Sonic to sort of, uppercut kick Zomom. Thanks, Whisper. And then Whisper shoots a purple wisp over at Zik. Zik is able to block it, but that distracts him from Sonic's jump, who lands right on his head. We see another wisp kind of surrounding, we see, I think what's going on there is Xena is dodging a bunch of Wispon blasts from Whisper, and Xena runs for the hole to try to steal the Wispon. Give me that! And we see Tangle's tail comes through and uppercuts Xena. That's a good bit there. Sonic then spin dashes Zaz in the chest, and Zaz just sort of brushes it off. Yeah, that's the stuff. Give me another. And then Zavok turns to Zor, who's sort of been sitting the fight out. We haven't really seen anything of the emo boy lately. And Zavok gets onto him. Get in there and fight. And Zor tells him, I'm looking for the right time to strike. And Zavok then picks up Zor, then get up. And we see Zor already kind of sees what's coming. He's very sort of disheartened at the situation he's in. And Zavok just throws him into the battle and strike. And we see Zor sort of watches Sonic get another hit in on Zaz. And then Zor tries to join the battle and he's just hit by a wisp. Instantly knocked out. Good effort, Zor. You tried. You didn't really try, but you tried, sure. Sonic turns back to Whisper. Thanks again. And Zaz is just still up and at him. Sonic's been going at Zaz for a while, and it hasn't really had much of an effect. Yeah, now I'm pumped. You unleashed the beast, baby. I'm gonna tear this whole place down. And he's ready to, finally get serious. I don't know if that's a callback to, Zaz's boss fight mechanic in Lost Worlds. I don't quite know what the point of that's really supposed to be. Maybe once you beat him, he gets, once you get a good way it's like a kind of final form sort of thing, you know what I mean? Anyway, we see a wisp kind of bounces off of Zavok. It doesn't really do a lot of damage, and he looks at it. I've had quite enough of that. And he uses his kind of electricity, or his machine control at the hole in the wall. And the Wispon kind of I think Whisper's mask malfunctions, actually. The Wispon might too, but her mask sort of sparks the same way as the Wispon does. She's kind of knocked back. And Tangle is, ready for revenge at that. You mess with her girl. And she throws her tail through the hole. That's it, jerk. Prepare for a... And her tail is grabbed by Zavok. And she's, knocked into the door. And Zavok just drops her. She's kind of at least a little woozy right there. Anyway, we then cut to Sonic and Zaz. Again, that fight is still going on. It's been going on for a good while now. Sonic sort of dodges a claw attack from Zaz. He gives him a kick in return. And Zaz is starting to be a little woozy. Yeah, you and me. Gonna tear it up. And Sonic is just like, dude, stop. You're done. And Zaz goes on the offensive again. Not done till I'm dead! And he punches Sonic, but it doesn't do a lot of good, because Sonic quickly knees him in the face and then spin dashes into his chest. And he's wobbly. He's on all fours there. And Sonic just looks at him, nah, you're done. But then, that kind of taunt there gives Zavok the opening he needs to just slug Sonic. Sonic kind of hits the ground, and Zavok tells him, I admire your tenacity. For what is perseverance, if not a lesser form of ruthlessness? I mean, I guess. I never really thought of that like that, I guess. Anyway, Zavok goes for a claw attack, but Sonic seems to spin out of the way, but I think right into Xena, who kicks him back towards Zavok, and Zavok grabs Sonic and just slams him into the wall. I realize, I feel like I should say, I'm not really commenting on a lot of what's going on, but this is really just a really simple fight issue. It's just not a lot of plot going on. It's just Sonic trying to beat the Deadly Six. And he was doing pretty well, but now that Zavok has kind of entered the battle, Sonic is pretty easily just smashed into that wall. It's pretty brutal. And Sonic kind of falls out of his spin dash, hits the ground. He gets up. He's still standing, but he's really woozy. He looks hurt. And Zavok tells him, "You are indeed a mighty warrior, the most challenging foe we've ever faced. But challenges are meant to be overcome." And we see all Deadly Six are still ready to fight. I wish that panel there was a little bit wider, because that would like almost certainly be a good thumbnail, but it's just a little bit too thin for that. But yeah, apparently Zomom and Zaz and Zik and Zor are like not down yet. They're a little beat up. We see like dirt on them. Zaz and Zomom are kind of clutching injuries, as is Xena maybe. But for the most part, they're all still standing. Sonic has not really accomplished much. Physically. Tails will still be here soon with the Zeti Zapper to kind of wrap this whole plot line up. But that's sort of is why Tails can't be here so early from a narrative standpoint, because it's not hard to put some items on them when you're as fast as Sonic. You don't have to beat them physically. And so Tails not being here allows there to be a challenge, because as soon as Tails is here, the fight is over. So it really is sort of a defensive battle for Sonic. It's kind of easier. He just has to hold them off until Tails arrives. And so I'm glad that he's sort of being physically beaten. I think that's a good way to sort of up the stakes when the victory condition is just too easy, as it kind of is here. Anyway, Sonic sort of quips back, "You're bitter your poetry circle didn't like your stuff. I get it. Can we jump to the part where you actually do something?" And the Deadly Six all kind of come towards Sonic. Sonic looks very calm there. Maybe he's already kind of figured out that Tails is here. Or maybe he's just confident he can avoid them all. He sort of spin dashes Zavok up in the face, gives a little kick to Zaz and Zomom and Xena, but Zomom actually captures him, which is kind of odd. Zomom is like the slow one, and he's captured the fastest thing alive. Either way, I mean, I guess there's just so much going on, even Sonic get kind of distracted. You can also even kind of see in that previous panel, the way Zomom is kind of shaded there shows that he's kind of sneaking up. Sonic isn't quite noticing him, he's focusing on Zaz and Xena. But yeah, Zomom grabs him, "Gotcha!" And he starts to like physically crunch Sonic's bones. Zavok just tells him, "Hold him. I want all of the restoration to listen as I peel him into pieces." That's some fucking brutal shit right there. Sonic kind of, grunts out, "Better than listening to you ramble." And then, all of a sudden, Zomom is kind of struck by electricity, dropping Sonic. Zavok gets onto him. "I said hold him!" And we see Tails is here with the Zeti Zapper. The fight is kind of basically over now. Tails hands Sonic a bag full of the Zeti Zappers. "Hurry, tag him!" And Sonic looks at him. Perfect timing. And with this, again, now that Tails is here, it's basically over now. Zavok lunges for Sonic. "No!" And Sonic makes quick work of Zik and Zaz. He tries to put it on Xena. Xena puts up a little bit of a fight, but it's to no avail in the end, as she's still hit by the Zeti Zapper. And then Zavok just lunges at Sonic and slams him into the ground. So there is a little bit of a threat here, even now the Zeti Zappers are in play, because Zavok just manages to capture Sonic. I guess that, because I'm thinking about, Sonic is so fast, why can't he just dodge everything? That's sort of his thing. But, they're in this sort of very tight space. Even Sonic only has so many places he can move to, and so it's not the hardest thing in the world, I think, to kind of work out where Sonic is going to go and then capture him there. Anyway, "You're out of tricks, boy. Now what?" And then this is directed at Tails. And Tails sort of gathers up his courage and says, "I use the skills Sonic taught me. That's what." And then he spin dashes right into Zavok's gut. It doesn't do a lot of damage. He still kind of holds on to Sonic. And then Zavok sort of jumps up, or Tails jumps above Zavok, but Zavok still grabs Tails and slams him into the wall. I like that my expectations are kind of being subverted here. I thought this would be really easy once Tails showed up, and the whole point was defend until Tails can arrive. But even with Tails here, Zavok is putting up one hell of a fight here. And Zavok taunts Tails. and now your skills have failed you. And Tails just sort of gets right up in Zavok's face and grins. Guess I'll just go back to tricks then. And he grabs his tails and reveals a Zeti Zapper, hidden under his tail, I think, and throws it right at Zavok, shocking him. Zavok is down. That's kind of the end of that. And then Sonic throws last one, and Tails deflects it, and it's thrown right at Zor, ending the threat of the Deadly Six. I haven't commented on it earlier, but I kind of want to draw attention to the way Sonic is drawn in some of these panels. Basically, every other character in this comic has black outlines. And most of the time, Sonic does too. But occasionally, like here at the last one panel, Sonic is outlined in white. And we still saw that again when he got slammed into the wall and kind of picked himself up. He was in white. When he's dropped by his Zomom, he's outlined in white. I'm kind of curious what exactly is going on there. I don't know what the difference between the outline and black and white thing is. Either way, with that, the last of the Deadly Six is down for the count. Zor just kind of weakly mutters out, "Oh, exquisite agony. I struggle against the pain, only to be consumed by beautiful darkness." Yeah, he's just so emo. He's such an emo kid. Sonic looks over at Tails. "You good?" "Yeah. Are you okay?" And Sonic sort of like puts his arm over Tails' shoulder. "They're called the Deadly Six. They don't tickle." And yeah, we see they're both kind of pretty beat up there. They've won, but it was a hard-fought battle. And Tango calls in from inside the door. "Are you okay?" And Sonic kind of comforts her. "Nothing a chili dog won't fix." And they somehow fit inside the hole, I guess. I mean, they are a good bit bigger than the Deadly Six, so it's not exactly a strategic failure to leave that hole there, except I guess Zit could get in. Anyway, the two of them make it through the little hole. Oh no, actually, I'm completely misreading that. They're still on the outside of the door, and it's Tangle kind of talking from the inside. Yay! So we've got a big problem. This is going to be about Belle. That's going to be our cliffhanger. But Sonic tells her, "Nah, Tails showed up and saved the day. The Deadly Six are down. We're good." And Tangle goes on, "No, not that." Tails then says, "The doors are in bad shape, but the tracks are intact. I can get them open, no problem." And Tangle's just frustrated. "Forget the doors." And Sonic kind of grumbles, "Ugh, now what?" Belle's been kidnapped. So yeah, now it's time to work out that Belle is with Starline now. While the Zeti Hunt arc might be over, there still is drama to deal with. And then we see our final page. The orangutan volunteers sort of inform the group of what's happened. Everyone's kind of in a panic now, as Belle says, Tangle says, "Dr. Starline kidnapped Belle. Next time, the fate of the Deadly Six and Belle." And we have our cover of next month's issue. We have Sonic kind of sliding in the foreground, while we see Zavok, Starline, Belle, and Tails in the background. And so given that little next time thing, the fate of the Deadly Six and Belle, I guess there's a little bit more Deadly Six drama going, maybe. Or maybe it's just, the fate of the Deadly Six being them being sent back to Lost Hex. Either way, there's still a little bit of time with the Deadly Six left. But yeah, this is really a simple issue. It's just a fight for the most part. It kind of moves to something else in the end. But it's just Sonic beating up the Deadly Six. It's a hard-fought battle. There's a nice little bit of strategy in there. A nice good bit of complications in ways I didn't really expect. Again, I thought that Tails would arrive with the Zeti Zapper, and then the fight would basically be over, and that didn't quite turn out to be the case, which is always nice to be a little surprised in a good way. But then, yeah, Tails shows up. They do actually manage to win, even if they're kind of caught by Zavok. There's a little bit of scheming Tails puts on. Either he allows himself to get caught by Zavok, or he's just as aware of that possibility. And yeah, the Deadly Six is done for now. They could come back at some point. But we have bigger problems. Starline has kidnapped Belle. So yeah, it's a fun issue. It's not, again, super complex. Not a whole lot, plot-wise happens. It's just the Deadly Six go down, and Sonic learns about Belle being kidnapped. But beyond all that, there's still a lot of... it's just a fun fighting chapter. Sometimes you just gotta sit back and enjoy some nice action. And this is certainly some nice action. So yeah, I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe. You know, do whatever makes you happy, you know? And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!